Please listen to this message for you. It's from the groups of Phase 5 Record Show. When someone said we need to spread the news, we decided to share it through a song. Black crime, white crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick that devil out your mind. Black crime, white crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick that devil out your mind. Wake up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter. Rise up, protect your rights. 'Cause our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite. 'Cause our lives matter.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Stephen Jones with Wake Up, Rise Up, the weekly show where you get a chance to hear and meet some of the many, many people who are involved with the Wake Up, Rise Up World Peace Concert that's going to debut on, well, actually for the second time, it's going to debut on September 21st, 2022. With us tonight is the host of the New York stage, Tschaka Tonge. Did I say that right?
Tschaka Tonge, you got it right.
All right. Man, how you doing tonight? Tonight.
Yeah, still the sun is out. It's almost sundown. I'm feeling good. Steve Jones.
Yes. I got myself.
Good to meet you.
Yes. You said we met last year briefly, and because I was in a storm of silly string trying to get this thing online, I forgive me, but I do forget. I met everybody last year, but Sean and I were busy trying to cram 10 months of preparation into 9 days.
It's the truth.
That was
and a job well done, if I may say. Job well done, because if I can, I'll interject right there, because we were in a crisis, as when you do things happen.
Yeah.
And you, Sean, and others, we had one of our coordinators of video and so forth had unfortunate illness. And so you and others had to take up. So I'm going to tell you, job well done, because we did it.
Yeah, we did.
We did it.
A lot. And I'll pass the buck a little bit here over to Sean Tonks. I wouldn't have taken on the position had I not felt Sean had the technical expertise to back up what I needed to do. Because there's no way looking at the size of Wake Up, Rise Up last year that I could have done it by myself. And I'm not too bad at what I can do. I've got good expertise, but you know something? There are some projects that you just got to look at and say, I can't do this. This is too big. And you're going to pass on. Sean had the expertise, but I had the specific expertise that was needed for one particular task. So it was the combination of Sean and myself that made it happen. So,
and I'm going to say this on top of that. We also owe that to the CEO, can I say that, for Douglas Payne?
Yeah,
and the erstwhile Carmen Bryant, because they knew who to pick.
Yep.
You see, that's leadership. So when I saw you guys, I said, hey, listen, I know it's okay. That's why you wouldn't remember me, because I wasn't all over everything. You see, I just did what I had to do, and I said, okay.
Well, when I went in, there's a bit of a storm when I had finally talked to Doug, and I said to him, listen, it's great, it's wonderful, I got to go. And Sean says to me, he goes, you can't. I said, what do you mean I can't? Then he explained what happened, and it all worked out. It did. And then we're here for a second year, which is phenomenal. And this year, it promises, because of the snowball or quote-unquote avalanche we created last year, it promises to be even bigger. Your New York stage is picking up some serious steam. We got a whole new life coming out of Canada. There's new life coming from Nick from southern England, off the southern banks of England. He's got stuff going on. I don't know everything where he is at, but he's got stuff down in the Caribbean. He's got stuff up in Finland, I believe. don't quote me on this, but I think he's got stuff coming out of the Ukraine.
That's very possible.
You know,
That's very possible.
So, you know, this is your second year in this. Let's start off with the obvious question: why? Why are you here? Okay.
Well, beside the cause, that is my life principles anyhow, is to wake up and rise up. You know, there's been a bad press about what is woke culture. You see, I'm gonna publicly say it. The woke culture actually started in the Black community. This is why wake up, rise up is a natural. Okay, so we lived this already. So I was asked to come and participate from our CEO, Douglas Payne, who I've known since I was in elementary school, you see. And so wake up, rise up. You see, that is what even in the Black community, we were trying to wake up our community to our condition, to our history, to the self-righteousness in our struggle. You know, so being woke meant that you weren't falling for the original fake news, you see, because there was a lot of fake news about Black people, crime-wise, history-wise. It was so many negatives. So wake up, rise up is a continuum, because that's what we're doing. And it doesn't own, and then it branches off to all communities. You see, to where, and you know, don't fall for the hype, as Public Enemy said. I could quote them, because it's a lot of hype, it's a lot of lies, it's a lot of misinformation. So even with this wake up, rise up now, we got to get through that too, because we're not against the what is that, your Second Amendment or your First Amendment? The
Second Amendment about the guns,
right?
Yeah,
we're not against that. No. We're just saying the overuse of firearms, and for no means, just to have it. You know, I can't even give you the quotation of how many firearms per person in this country we have, but we have over the limit for conscious use. Everybody's not a hunter. Everybody's not afraid of something. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just, you could get it. I want it, and I could do what I want because I have rights. So we're trying to wake up people to that. Is that the gratuitous violence? Why is somebody unleashing a gun on a school?
Yeah, there's no call for that.
It's a lot of things involved in that. They're the youth, and they're innocent. And we're trying to groom them for the future. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
And that makes sense. I sat back and I'm looking at the news, and I'm really, when they get into the political stuff where, you know, the elephant hits the donkey and they start screaming at each other, I try to avoid that kind of stuff, because I am a moderate, and I always think I kind of see the big picture, and then I can come in from there. And
got it.
You know, I don't agree with the heavy polarization of, you know, take all the guns away. No, we should be able to have, like Arnold Schwarzenegger did one time, let me go get my gun. And then he goes out into the shed, and like there's enough armament in there to arm up the entire army, you know. He pulls out this rapid fire gun that could turn the house into Swiss cheese in about 2 minutes, right? Why do we need that? I also believe that, you know, the militia and the Second Amendment, you know, I love the movie 1776. If it wasn't for the fact that we did bear our own arms, we would still be speaking with a bit of a brogue, like and we'd be saying that. And we would be saying bloody hell and everything else with a bit of, you know, the Queen's English. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, we wouldn't be America. On the other hand, you're right. Why do we have to have the coffer in the house? We're hunters. Pennsylvania, I understand we have one of the largest standing militias in the world. Okay? And, I mean, the Monday after Thanksgiving is a holiday because it's the first day of hunting. Okay? You know, back when I was in high school, we used to have a rifle club. Guns legally in school, and teachers teaching kids how to use them. safely. Now, that's a concept that is completely alien today. You're not going to see that. You speak about your culture, the black culture, not seeing the big picture. You know, people get typecast, and that's what's bad. You can have 10,000 people of a particular Hungarian, English, black, whatever. Pick any nationality or race. They're all cool people. You got one knucklehead that does something stupid, and right away that guy over there says, "Oh, they're all bad." That's what we're talking about as far as wake up, rise up, because just that one jerk doesn't mean that everybody's a jerk. And I if I'm getting what you're saying correctly, that's what you're trying to promote. You're trying to say that one guy doesn't make it all. We are better than that.
Well, I'm saying responsible people in the United States. Okay, let's start with square one.
Okay.
The gun is one of the reasons why the United States was founded, and I don't want to get too deep. Right. If it wasn't for that gun and the people that they were capturing this land from didn't have the equal means, all the Europeans conquerors that came here. So the gun is codified, and that's the sad thing about it, because that's when it's lost. To understand it's a tool.
Right.
You don't take a wrench to a screwdriver fight. You know, it's
that's good.
You don't, you know, so we don't need all of that. If you see, so we're trying to make a culture amongst everybody, and I'm saying that everybody is going to get the benefit of what the black community, the African American community, or the African diaspora, because many of the countries that are represented in Wake Up Rise Up are from that ethnicity, and I'd like to take the claim to that, say that we're bringing this to the world now. Okay, give us the credit, because we've been going through all of this, and the whole country. I mean, people are shooting their family members, God forsake. I mean, come on. Whatever happened to sitting down and discussing something intelligently, okay, after you get over the emotion, because somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get killed, and you can't bring it back.
No.
So that's why we are on this Wake Up, Rise Up. There should be more openings again for people to get good education and come and build the fiber of the United States or whatever country you come from. That's what it's about, having a better world and being civilized.
Very much so. Do you remember a commercial from the 70s, I think?
Mm-hmm.
It said about a mind is a terrible thing to waste. You remember that?
Yes. Yeah, that was from the United Negro College Fund. That was their ad campaign.
I like that. I've always remembered that. I kind of drilled that into my kids as well. I mean, everyone's got something they're bringing to the table that's worthwhile. That's the thing that we have to recognize. You know,
that's right.
We another person made a comment. We all have a piece in the choir.
That's right.
You know, and I guess that brings us back to music here. So, you know, it brings us back to. So, what you got going on with your stage? I mean, you've got start spreading the news. You got the old Big Apple there. We're working with. So
yeah,
what do we expect of the Big Apple?
And then we are also. Well, let me say this. The current stage is in progress, so I can't disclose really what is solid right now.
There goes.
But I will say this: we could definitely look forward to seeing some of the people that we had last year.
Okay,
because they are great. We had Living Color last year, the rock band, the black rock band. We had the Ladies of Sky. We had Russell Patterson of Black Ivory. We had Prince Stephen. We had myself. We had the Leonard P. people. So we're going to bring some of those folks back. We had Ngoma Tayshawn, Warren Brady, and I forgot the G Crew. Man, and his band.
You had an impressive stage last year. You really did.
Yeah, I mean, it's New York, and I'm from New York. I was born and raised New York, Harlem.
I love New York. I do. I got to tell you, I really do love New York.
Why?
Why? Because I'm one sick, I tell you what.
I'm pulling your proverbial leg there.
And, honestly, I proposed to my first wife on top of the World Trade Center. Well, inside. We weren't on the roof.
Nice.
No way. I'm not getting on top of it. And I said to them when I made the reservation, I said, please do not put me near the window. And the guy I talked to spoke a broken English, and he mistook what I said. And I'm right next to this damned window. And I look down, and I see these little tiny cars going around. And the little people walking around like little specks of freaking pepper. And I went, oh, my God. So I gave the ring to Tina. Take the ring. And then she goes, okay. And I said, quickly. So then when we went back, we went and we saw, I don't remember the order, but we saw, who played in, Zorba. Who played in Zorba? That was, Anthony Quinn. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We saw his last performance as Zorba. And then we saw, we went back, we saw Cats. Okay. And then we went back to the World Trade Center, and then I really was rather emphatic about not sitting next to the window, and they put us in one of the circles. So, no, but I love the Broadway.
I got it, though. I got it. Go ahead.
I love Broadway. I mean, I love what you guys do. Everything's big up there.
The arts.
Yep.
The architecture, the neighborhoods.
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I grew up here, and I love it, too, but I could go anywhere, too, because it... but I feel you exactly, and that's what New York is really come to be known for, those things. So.
I was telling Steve Pollara, I think it was him I was talking to last night. I went on a tour of NBC.
Right.
Okay.
I went on that.
We got on the stage at Radio City Music Hall. I was about 10 years old, maybe 12, and I stood there looking at this humongous theater. And I said, I want this. And I never got it. But it was just fabulous. Right. I went in recently and saw that Christmas show. And I was in tears through the whole thing. It's New York. I mean, what else do you want,
Right.
You guys are so fabulous to do stuff in there. I mean, with me broadcasting, we have to do everything pre-record, but to have the Wake Up Rise Up on a stage in Carnegie Hall, or even in one night on the stage there at Radio City, or even maybe more realistically on the NBC stage for Saturday Night Live would be awesome.
Oh, that would be forever. That would be a whole like a marathon for real, right?
Yeah, that would be
really a marathon.
That would
that
would blow the doors in, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fortunate thing. Okay. Fortunate thing. We grew up to the age that we could do this on the platform that we're doing it on, because this is going to be a virtual concert.
Right.
Some of the things are pre-recorded. Or most everything was pre-recorded.
We're going full pre-recorded, yeah.
Right, pre-recorded, because we're making these baby steps in a grand step. Because what we have done here, and what the founders of this and all the folks who are involved, is that we bring in a platform that people could watch over and over. At the same time, we can reach more people in using this platform, digital platform. I mean, shoot, when we were children, or at least when I was a child, we would watch Star Trek and some other futuristic things, and things are here. You see Army, spy, business. James Bond was a big deal, and they were going for technology all those
Absolutely,
times.
I love it.
It's interesting. So we're able to do this now and bring it to people all across the world. This is what makes the world even a smaller place.
Yes. Very
even
much
a
so.
smaller place.
And that's a very big point you make there. The world is a smaller place. You know, back in World War II, you know, Europe is blowing each other up, and we were very safe with two big ponds on either side of us. There were not rockets that could reach across the United States. Today there is.
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay, you know they can do EMPs, they can do whatever, they can do all kinds of stuff. So our world is definitely smaller. So what happens in the Ukraine
Smaller.
or wherever can have an impact on us, maybe indirectly, but it can still have, and the impact can be almost immediate.
Yeah,
This is scary, and this is what we need to recognize. Some people are saying, it's over in Ukraine, who cares? And why must we have to suffer for their gas prices? And I mean, there's a whole list of things. And Putin is sitting back and saying what he is saying. You know, it's like, I still haven't figured out what his motivations are. I think the whole thing just seems imagined, but that's my opinion. It's not perhaps correct. But it's a small world. And there we go back to what Disney was saying. Remember that song, It's a Small World After All? It really is. So what do you see, Tschaka, as the next step? Okay, we're going to have this peace conference. We're going to do music. We're going to sing next year and the following year. We're going to be singing all along. But we got to do something else. Your mind, what would be the next step? I mean, everyone has an idea of what we should do next. So what would your next idea be? Yeah, what our next step?
You talk about with Wake Up, Rise Up?
What could Wake Up, Rise Up tackle?
Yeah, I think that's more specific, and we could recruit people in the cause, because the thing about it, the next level, you see, you have two things. You have a problem, you make a diagnosis, you make a plan. You follow up with your plan. You might have to change your plan. Maybe your plan works right away, but part of the plan should be is that we have to first bring the awareness to the people and let them know, hey, did you really consider all the deaths are happening and having too much guns and being inappropriate with it? That's all we're talking about. You could have your right to do whatever you want. If you want to take your gun to bed and put pajamas on it, that's your business. But we're talking about innocent lives, period. These guns are not even being used for a well-armed militia. This is used on your fellow citizens, because if you look at the word genocide, you're killing people who are closest to you. You'll kill. That's the first one. If you go to the story about Cain and Abel, they were brothers. There's lots of, even the Egyptian mysteries talking about Osiris or Asor and his brother Set that killed him. So we know that. So we're talking about, if you have the overflow of those guns and it's killing American citizens, it's really time to take a serious look at this thing. Now, come on. Come on. I don't want to hear rhetoric. Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the profiles and the pictures of the people who actually lost their lives. They're not soldiers. They're not criminal combatants. So the thing is, okay, bring the awareness. The second is to get legislation, to put some pressure on the politicians, because they seem to have the weakest constitution when it comes to actually doing something about it. And right now, we just witnessed maybe about a dozen school shootings, I believe. Now, we could go check the record in the last 10 days. Now, that doesn't, what do you need? So we got to put pressure on the politicians. So with Wake Up, Rise Up, we have in the beginning aligned ourselves with some nonprofit organizations that do things this way, but to make that bigger, to get policy to make it, because it seems like that's the only thing you could do, because people are not thinking reasonably at all. And leadership isn't. Leadership has been so impotent about doing something. I mean, impotent. It needs Viagra. We need a social catalyst to say, you know what, if you don't do anything, don't vote for them.
Yeah.
They only human beings and citizens like you. They not. This is not what they were. What God assigned them, like a gender. This is not a gender. This is leadership. Now, either you do it or you don't. So get organizations, and then to change the behavior of people. That's the other thing, to where people wouldn't need a gun, because now you had the rural rights for guns in your area in the Lehigh Valley. But guess what? They're not doing that in New York City. You can't have it. You have to. It's very stringent.
Yeah, we're very much a gun-toting society here, but we are very conservative if you would compare us to an area like, for instance, Texas.
Oh, please, please.
I realize there's a hot spot right now, but you talk to the Texans down there. Texans open carry more than anybody else in the country. Okay, it's just the culture.
It's historical again.
Yeah,
it's historical,
and
that's the cattlemen and everybody doing their homesteading thing.
And but part stereotype as well. That is part stereotype.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, you could even go into like Kentucky and some other places that are the Appalachias. You walk into Appalachia, you're getting out of the car to go up and say hi, and you got 5 guys pointing shotguns at you. Who are you? Why are you back here? So, I mean, it's...
You see, that's that xenophobic culture that the gun protects.
Right.
Because I'm afraid of strangers, that means the stranger, he has to face 2 things. I either know who you are without a doubt, or you're going to die. And you see, the thing is that the culture has to elevate. If people want to talk about American exceptionalism, that is exceptional. When you don't need all of those guns and armaments, because the people are civilized. There's civil discourse. People know how to behave with each other. I gave a man my umbrella. We at a pet shop, and it just went raining, and my car was parked right in the front, and I saw him patiently waiting. Some people left. He's still waiting for this big monsoon type rain coming down out here in New Jersey yesterday, and he had a raincoat on. I had a t-shirt on. So I said, listen, I got an umbrella. Oh, that's right. My car's right here. I got an umbrella for you. You could use, and I'll follow you to your car. That's it. He said, huh? Follow me to my, huh? What you got? Look. Gave it to him. Followed him. It was only, in the parking lot, the regular little mall parking lot. So he said, thank you. People don't do that anymore. And this is the thing is, you see, if you're going to be exceptional and you're going to be civilized, then you know how to have civil discourse. Guns don't have a place in that.
No.
Stand your ground. Just shoot somebody. You taking a life, you'll see it flatline like that if that person was attached to a cardiac monitor.
Yeah,
right or wrong.
Yeah,
you can't bring them back. So that's what I'm saying. That is the other thing, is to change the culture and the behavior.
That's a huge thing, and that changed in my mind. That started changing, believe it or not, with music.
Yes,
you look at music.
Yes,
music. Now they're going to say, "Oh, that was rock and roll back in the 50s. That started trouble." No, because I happen to like Elvis, so we're not going to get into that. So, but the music, as I see it, from working in the music industry, it seems to me that the 90s, the music took on a real doom and gloom. It was very angry. And not just one particular genre. It's just across the board. It took on a very different tone. The 80s was very upbeat. You had We Are the World. You had some Michael Jackson going on there. You had Huey Lewis. It's hip to be square. You had a lot of good Madonna in there. She had some weird stuff occasionally. But what I'm saying? You had a very robust music industry in the 80s. There was a lot of power, a lot of good stuff.
You had reggae music. That's when Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Bunny Wheeler, the whole reggae movement changed music again.
The entire industry was just moving. It was very robust, very positive. The 80s. 90s, something happened. Okay? I don't know what it was. I remember my son listening to some stuff that I just did not appreciate, and we just stayed away from it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, and
the culture has really gone down The intelligence of the population has not really been challenged to go up a notch. It's been going behind. It's more social media. It's more external, how you look. Because even during those times, that's when everybody was the muscle bound bodies, everybody working out with all of this cut and all the girls looking pretty. So we kind of lost some of the thought. Now you could do both now.
Yeah,
You could be intelligent and looking good. Yeah, but I think it really went a lot of ways that way. And me being a musician, I am by the way, I'm a singer, songwriter, percussionist, and producer. I do, you could wear a lot of hats today.
Yeah, you can.
Because again, the technology. I mean, you could do everything digital. You could make a book. You could publish your own book.
Yes, you can.
You couldn't do that before. We doing a broadcast here. Who knows how that you didn't have this means of productions in your hands.
My background, I used to operate in a power plant, so people used to get a charge out of me. But
this is what you call you got jokes.
Yeah, all my jokes are perfect, every one of them, and the ones that don't get good, I take them back to Walmart. So this did not work. Take it back. So honestly, I've been a DJ since the '70s, late '70s, and instead of going into radio, I went into working in a power plant, and then I became a computer nerd, and then that's how I kind of fell into this.
Yes,
but I've always been a musician, so like you say yourself.
Yeah,
I love piano. I play that thing, and I play a good honky tonk. But anyway,
I use the piano to write my songs. I'll use the drum to write my songs. Things could start off with a drum rhythm, as you know, or they could go from a piano melody or rhythm. So in my music, I perform original music.
Okay,
I love all classics of all genres, but I want mine to be classics too. So I prefer to perform that. I know the lyrics better of my own songs more than any other song. And it promotes the same healthy living. It might sound corny when people say healthy living, but you really want a healthy mind. You want a healthy food. You want a healthy discourse and conversation, so why not? It makes everything cleaner.
Yes. Are cheesesteaks healthy food?
I would say in the long run, in moderation.
In moderation.
In moderation.
In moderation. I knew somebody, who wanted to take me into New York to one of your New York delis and get me a New York Reuben that was stacked about this tall.
Never heard of it.
Oh my God! She said there's a place in Brooklyn she knew, and we kind of fell out of touch. And I'm really disappointed. I gotta go find this place. I love Reuben sandwiches. Yeah, my problem is that I love all food. The only thing I don't eat is red beets. So anyway,
red what beets?
Red beets. It's no.
Out of everything.
Out of everything out there, I just won't touch a red beet. And I'll tell you what, it's so bad. I was on a first date with a gal, and she ordered red beets, and that was our last date. I couldn't take this.
No, but that happens. I could dig it. I mean,
oh man. Anyway, we're almost out of time here, so tell us your website. How can we get in touch with you?
Well, you could get in touch with me on Facebook, the Tschaka Tonge Experience. You could do, what is that? They call it a hashtag at 3TX at 3TX.
Okay.
That should be it. I could check it, but
do you have a regular .com?
Not right now, because I'll tell you, I give everybody another thing. It's no excuse. But with you being able to handle so much with this technology, you can't handle it all. I used to have a site, so I got to get it back up.
Okay.
Honestly, because this is a one-man shop.
I get that. So, but maybe we can talk about some other stuff down the road. But all right.
So, okay, you want to know anything else about the stage that's forthcoming? Stay tuned to Wake Up, Rise Up.
Go ahead and touch upon that because we're about ready to wrap up here. But you can touch upon.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Steve. Yeah, I want everybody to pay attention to Wake Up, Rise Up. Stay in touch. Tell your friends. get involved because we got to stop this gratuitous gun violence. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Tonge. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. And we will talk some more. You have yourself a great night. And it was a pleasure having you on the show. So this is Steve Jones with Wake Up, Rise Up, the weekly show. Thank you very much for tuning in. Every Sunday night, watch for us. You'll get some really cool stuff. Thank you very much. Good night now.
And thank you.
Please listen to this message for you. It's from the groups of Phase 5 Record Show. When someone said we need to spread the news, we decided to share it through a song. Black crime, white crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick the devil out your mind. Black crime, white crime, stop the dealing, stop the killing. It's time to kick the devil out your mind. Wake up, let's unite. Our lives matter. Rise up, terrorize. Our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite. Our lives matter. Rise up, terrorize. Our lives matter.
It doesn't matter if you're black or white. Love your brother, love your sister, please treat them right. Don't wait until they're almost dead to feed the poor, even with a loaf of bread.
Let's unite.
Yeah.
Our lives matter. Rise up, terrorize. Our lives matter. Stand up, let's unite. Our lives matter. Rise up, terrorize. Our lives matter. Bring your hand, bring your hand in the air. Put your hand in the earth. Show the world that we care. Wave your hand, bring your hand in the air. Put your hand in the earth. Put your hand in the air.
Breaking news is the same old mess. Someone got shot, can't snitch, no arrest. Here's the basic information before leaving Earth. Open up that book, it's all in the Word.
Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sins, and will heal their land.